Hello, I'm Gunther, and I'm from Ancient Rites, and you're listening to What's Metal.
I will not re-roll all of your history of ancient rites. It's too long or too much, maybe. But basically, what people should know that now start to listen to ancient rites would be that you started out as a very underground black metal band, pretty rough and simple, straightforward, and now you're playing more epic, more melody-like material, which a lot of power and might and so on. So basically, you can maybe just tell us a little bit of how your sound evolved over the years.
Okay, well, it's, as a musician, you always evolve, and I think that the essence still is the same. What we do, the lyrics are based on the same, like history, the dark side of things, but it's kind of a logical step that you evolve. As a musician, you grow, and also there's a different lineup. Every musician brings his own influences, and I think we never plan this. It's how we are always interested to see how the album will sound ourselves. It's not never really a plan that we try to follow. It all comes natural, actually.
But what is then the next level? Well, Dim Carcosa is out since I don't know 2 years maybe now, and what comes next? How will you progress with your sound?
Well, it's an interesting thing that happened. I never believed it would happen, but our early guitarist, he returned to the band, and so what we try to achieve on the next album is a combination of the old days, the roughness, and he had a very heavy, typical sound on the first albums, and with the other musicians, with the keyboard player who was classically educated, he has this progressive touch still there, and I think automatically it will be like a mixture of trying to achieve the best of both worlds, the old days combined with what we have become.
So, what would you think is the most strangest place that you ever played, and what was maybe the most impressive place or country that you have ever been to that impressed you the most?
I think that every country, because I'm really into history, that's why I try to learn more about the traditions and taste of the local culture. We are not really a band that stays in the backstage. We stay an extra few days, and then we do some sightseeing, go to places, and but what I found quite impressive was when we went to Israel, because it's many bands were canceling because of the terrorist attacks and stuff, and we had to lie to get into there because we didn't get a working permit, so we pretended to be like tourists, and we all flew in from different airports. One guy from Holland, the other guy from Charleroi, one guy from Brussels, and then we said we're here for a barbecue when there was a war going on. It's very weird, but and also it's a risk in a way because places or events that attract larger crowds, of course, are targets easy. So it was quite impressive to see like guys with guns and in military, but they came for an autograph. So there were guys who asked to be there as a security because they liked the music. So this was quite strange because at the moment it looked like the land of milk and honey because sunny, good weather. It was winter in Belgium. There it was very good weather, but you could sense the danger, and they were saying, okay, they want to see Jerusalem. No, they can't go there because probably it will be considered provocative that with the religious clashes over there and stuff. So with Westerners going there is not the right moment now, especially with our appearance, or there were places where we could go and we couldn't, and it was quite a strange, but the crowd was there, and what was good is you see that the people were not spoiled. Everyone was there, no matter if they were into gothic, extreme metal, rock, all people were there, and that was the good aspect of it.
So speaking of countries, culture, and things like that, in the Dim Carcosa booklet, in the background, in these paintings and so on, you always see this lion flag and things like that. Yeah. And now you're playing also in an oi band, like in the old days maybe. And you also have it's called Lion's Pride, when I'm right. And you have also this flag. So maybe you can clear up this connection and what it is all about.
It's a typical thing, like you have, let's say, you often see Irish bands playing with the symbol of the country, and what we try to do is to give a taste of a rather unknown culture. When you go abroad, people know Belgium, but immediately they think it's like a French-speaking country. That's how often it's portrayed in the rest of the world. It's like you can compare it to the Irish situation with Great Britain. Like they have their own culture as well, like the Gaelic, and we have our own language, and most people are not aware of it. And it's while many bands were concentrating on singing about Northern mythology, or the Norse, no matter if they were from Mexico or New Zealand, they were all singing about the Viking stuff. And we found it interesting to put our own little medieval world on the map, and so that the people know about it, you know. But we don't limit ourselves to our own, because I'm interested in other cultures as well, and that's why I travel a lot. But it's like to make it a more interesting interaction, not the typical topics.
Is there anything that traditionally or well occasionally really pisses you off in heavy metal or even in the oi scene? Is there anything where you would say, well, I've seen so much, I hope that this will change in the future?
Well, what I find quite annoying sometimes is people who just, and often they are the ones who just got into a scene. I think they try to prove something, and how tough they are, or how true they are to what they. In every scene you have this, and they try to lecture you and tell like you should do this or you can't do that, and you should, you know. But soon those most fanatic people often disappear as soon as another trend comes along, or when they're over 21, let's say. And those people who really think they invented the style and know all about it, but judge on prejudice, it's a bit or are too limited or narrow-minded to try something else as well. You know, you can love something, but you don't have to hate something else. Then, I find.
Okay, so nearly the last question. We had that before the interview already. So you had a head operation. Maybe you can inform our listeners that it might be not too serious. Corson just passed away, and Chuck Schuldiner, we miss that guy, and so on. So hopefully Ancient Rite will continue for a lot of more years.
That's nice to say. Well, I had indeed this operation. It's not the first time I had it, and the parts that are removed will be sent to the laboratorium to see if it's okay or not. But I already had this last year, and it was a positive kind of thing. So I keep my fingers crossed. But at least I have energy like I'm 15. So I will not give in. I'm still with the stitches in my head, and it's maybe not the cleverest thing to do, because I only had the operation 3 days ago. But I mean, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So here I am, and I will bang my head anyway. So no matter the stitches, it's okay. Thank you.
So, well, our show is called What's Metal? So what is metal for you? Is it just music? Has it become a lifestyle? Are there parts that you really appreciate?
What I like and what I would like to is that no matter where you go, and a nice scream on the background there. Uh, Maybe he wanted to say something. Okay. Now, what I like is that when you go abroad and you meet people who are into that style as well, it's very easy to put connections, because the music unites you somehow. I mean, I'm not narrow-minded. I listen everything from Wagner to the biggest noise, from, you know, and I enjoy everything and I appreciate everything. But when you have people who are sharing a similar taste, like when you see a metalhead in France, it's easy to connect, or in Malaysia. So you have immediately a link there. Than if you would go as a tourist and you see the people who are not into a certain style. Often maybe people that could become very good friends, you will never know, because you never get a first topic to talk about. It actually, it's across the borders. Somehow it unites. And that's a positive thing I like about it.